I see this topic come up time to time where people ask about, should they do an MBA? What is the ROI? Will it help them? Will it not help them? Are they just going to spend money and end up in debt? Or maybe they won't end up in debt, but are they going to spend money, spend time pursuing a degree that maybe is oversaturated, maybe has lost its value? I can use speak from experience on this issue, having seen all sorts of scenarios um, in my career. So, fun fact: I'm actually in an executive MBA program at a state university. The same university I actually went for undergrad. Funnily enough. I have a lot of exposure being embedded in you know business school now, but also just throughout my career. I've seen people with MBAs where it worked out for them. I've seen scenarios where it did not work out. So I'll be able to talk intelligently about this. So, much like many of my podcasts, I'm going to say at the very beginning, it depends, right? Your ROI, your benefit is really going to depend on a lot of things. Where you get the MBA is probably one of the biggest components. Another has to be, what you plan to do with it. And, finally, where you are in life. So if a college student graduates and right away pursues an MBA, that is going to be a different situation versus someone who goes into the industry, they get some years of experience, then they pursue the MBA. Um, that person is very attractive just because once they get the MBA and re-enter the workforce, they've already worked before. They already have working knowledge, and now their MBA can kind of complement that. So, if you're getting an MBA, I will say it is good to take a break after college and then get some miles on your soul, get some real life experience, and then go back to school. But there are some people who know that they know themselves. They know that if they leave school and leave that mindset, leave that environment, it's going to be tougher for them to come back later. If that is your situation, then by all means, um, do what is best for you. If you need to stay in school, otherwise you'll lose your habits, your discipline, your mindset. Then then being in school is really the best thing for you. Um, but yeah, one thing is just when do you get the MBA? I think getting some real life experience is good for you. A lot of research supports it. A lot of real world examples I've seen support it. I have seen some people who got an MBA right after undergrad, but they tended to go to schools that were sort of, top 50, top 30, top 20. So already they're in a scenario where they're kind of set up for success. So I don't want to use them as sort of as a template or an example of the norm. So one thing is, please do try to get some experience after undergrad before just going to MBA school. Um, the second thing is also, what do you plan to do? Some people get an MBA because their intention is just to, I don't know, become CEO of a company, or just have some management job assigned to them. And I can tell you, I am seeing far too many MBAs in the field, and too many of them are getting jobs that they actually could have gotten with a bachelor's. So they're overqualified and they're getting, entry level roles that yeah, college grads are getting, or honestly, a high schooler with, a couple of years of industry experience who, set themselves up well, and now they're doing the same sort of role that an MBA person wishes they could do, right? Sometimes they're actually ahead of the MBA graduate because they've been working longer. So what you intend to do does go a long way. If you think you're just going to graduate and someone's going to make you, I don't know, some sort of program manager, you're in for a rude awakening, unless you went to one of the top schools, because again, there's some sort of magic in the air when it comes to those degrees and those programs. They set up their alumni for success, it's almost it really is just impressive. Um, so if you think that you're just gonna get some management job with six-figure salary and cushy office, company car, you might be disappointed unless you went to, I don't know, Columbia or something. But if you have some realistic expectations, something concrete that you've been working towards, uh, I think that you are definitely leaps and bounds, across other MBA candidates, because some of them, their goal is go to school first, then graduate, and then step three is profit. They don't really know what they intend to do. For me, for example, I have my own consulting company. I have managed other companies. And while I do have a lot of experience, I would like some structured learning program to complement my experience, to complement my wisdom as well as the education I already have. So I'm not looking to use it to get, high level job. I'm not using it to I lost my train of thought. I actually was about to say something. But I don't want it to get a high level job, right? I'm confident I can get that regardless. Um, I want it to help me really manage my own company, the finance of my company, the accounting, as well as help me become a little bit more well rounded, not just sort of the technical person or even the business person, but someone who can, handle other parts of the business, or at least follow those conversations intelligently. So, I have some years between me and my undergrad time. I have a clear idea of how I intend to leverage the MBA. Um, and also, I'm going to a school that I believe in, I have exposure to, and I've seen great success stories. And it really just, serves my needs. But for you, please don't go in, do your research first, unless it's one of the top schools. And I'm not trying to endorse them in any way. Do not expect to come out and just get a six-figure salary. Do not expect to be given some high-level job. Do not expect that you're going to, make your money back right away, or that you're going to be some sort of hot commodity that people are going to think you know everything. There are MBA graduates who are struggling for internships because what is taught in school and what happens in the real world, unfortunately, there is a disconnect. Um, the MBA kind of tells you how to do things step by step. In the real world, it's not, step one, step two, step three, step four. It might be, one, three, four, and then back to two, right? Very often, there's a theory, and then there's also how things are done practically. And unfortunately, by the time things get to the business school curriculum, and I'm speaking from my own experience as someone who has actually been following the development of my MBA curriculum, um, I'm lucky where my school is actually pretty cutting edge, but other MBA programs in 2022 are just beginning to add courses on data and business intelligence. While my school is already talking about, AI, ML, stuff like that, and trying to incorporate that into the classroom, into the curriculum, because whatever is hot in the market, some programs try to bring to your table so that when you enter the field, you're actually well equipped. So, when you're researching MBA programs, please look at the curriculum. Please look at what certifications they give you, because some of them, they'll give you some certification in something business related or IT related. They'll also have, they'll also publish what the curriculum covers, what electives are available. Some people, they want to go into pharma. Some MBA programs allow you in the second year to pursue courses in healthcare or pharma. Some of them will allow you to pursue electives in business, and some of them allow you to pursue something in accounting, especially the MBA programs that allow you to sit for the CPA exam. That's actually pretty nifty. So, you know, my my long-winded story will always come back to the central point, which is it depends on your case. It depends on your specific situation. I have no delusions. I have some years of experience. I know how I plan to use the degree. I've done the research on the school, on the curriculum, and I also intend to have my employer um, pay for the degree, which will definitely help with my ROI. If you can do that, I really urge you to take advantage. Uh, a lot of a lot of companies have tuition reimbursement programs. You do have to ask for it. Some of them will pay for the entire degree upfront, um, but that's a rare case. That's really reserved for like management. Some of them will have reimbursement where you have to pay for the course yourself, and then at the end of the semester you submit some paperwork, and then they reimburse you. Or sometimes you just pay your bill, and then you just show that you paid for your semester, and they reimburse you. Even at the beginning of the semester. This is a wonderful program. Tuition reimbursement is something a lot of employers have, and I urge you to take that into consideration. If you're comparing MBA degrees, it'd be nice if you can get a top degree from one of the good schools. But if you have an option of going to a state school and getting an MBA, at the end of the day, nothing beats an ROI of graduating debt free or with minimum debt. I can tell you, um, that is definitely the best thing you can do for yourself. Don't go to the cheapest school or get some $5,000 MBA. Get something from a good school, but just try to find that right balance where the math makes sense, the curriculum makes sense, you have a clear, path what you want to do, and this MBA will definitely or probably, you never know what happens in the market, but it will probably help you get to where you need to go. And it's also essential. Please make sure the MBA is even essential. I see people who they want an MBA because they want to become some sort of director of IT. But honestly, for them, I say maybe a master's in computer science or master's in information technology or information systems. One of those degrees could be a little bit more valuable. I mean, look at your company, go on LinkedIn, and see what kind of degrees do people who are managing IT for that company have, because it doesn't make sense to go for an MBA if you have a company that typically wants people who studied comp sci or IT, right? Or vice versa. Maybe you're someone getting a master's in computer science, but if you look at the management of your target company, you'll see that wow, a lot of those guys actually end up getting an MBA or getting a master's in this or master's in that. So those are just so many things to consider. Ask yourself good, meaningful questions, and just let the answers guide you in your decision making, and hopefully you make the right choice.